Welcome back, guys. So today some bombs were dropped as far as the SNK Neo Geo Mini. We've learned a lot, we've seen a lot of pretty much is just being accredited to being rumor, but from credible sources and most likely is true. And before we go on with my thoughts, because I have some things I want to point out with this reveal that you may find interesting, because I find some flaws here with some of this, or some stuff that's interesting to say the least. But Spawnwave was the original guy who dropped this information. He got some kind of inside information on this and exposed it to everyone, revealed it to everyone. I thought that was pretty sweet. I've been keeping up on the news all day long, but definitely credit where credit's due. He was the guy who dropped it. I'll put a link in the description for his original video that he put out earlier today discussing this device. But I wanted to kind of speak on it a little bit myself as well, with some things I have noticed, and I don't know if others have pointed out yet. But a lot of you guys may know I'm a big Neo Geo fan. I love the Neo Geo. I don't necessarily need a Neo Geo Mini because I got a Neo Geo Big right here, right? But I love it, and I'm still very interested in getting this mini device. So what do we know about it? From these leaks or rumors and pictures and whatnot, what it is a little tiny, don't get it twisted, because a lot of people still think it's a bar top. I guess you can call it a bar top because it could sit on a bar, but it's it's just going to be a little mini arcade machine. It's only a 3.5-inch screen, so it's going to be tiny. It's not going to be very big. I mean, that's kind of my estimate, right? I don't know. 3.5-inch screen. A lot of us, our phones got bigger screens than that, so keep that in mind. This thing is going to be little, so also think about that as far as the thoughts and rumors as far as price point goes. I don't necessarily see this thing going for $200 being a little tiny mini machine, even though there have been little replica machines that have gone for that. This, I don't know if it's a mass marketed product in electronic stores or online or whatever. I don't know if it's going to sell for that much, but it's not really what I wanted to discuss. I want to kind of talk about more on the actual device itself. So the thing, going to be pretty cool, little mini system, has that little arcade stick built into the front, the 4-button layout, and the 4-button layout mimics essentially the Neo Geo CD controllers, which they've also shown are most likely going to be sold as add-ons, because this device does take extra controllers. So what does the controller look like? Just like a Neo Geo CD controller with the nice little micro switch joypad and our 4-button layout. And that's the way the arcade machine looks like it's going to be. It's going to have that same layout as far as the buttons go, or very similar anyway. Then you'll have a start and select, which in arcade mode, select inserts credits, start your game or put you into the game. So I'm not sure if this device is going to be put into console mode or arcade mode. I would hope it would be put into arcade mode, even though there are benefits to it being in console mode. It might be kind of cool if you can switch between the two. I don't know, but that's something to think about. I'm curious on that. Is it going to be arcade mode or console mode? Because both modes are different for the games. I mean, essentially the games are the same, but there's going to be different options and whatnot. So we'll have to see with that. But it does have those extra slots or ports for controllers, and then on the back of the device it does have for power, and then HDMI, and then audio out. So kind of neat. Like, you could take this and put it in an actual big arcade machine if you really wanted to, and draw that audio out to some speakers, HDMI to a monitor, whatever you wanted to do. I don't think anybody's going to do that. You could do that with a Raspberry Pi, so why would you buy a mini bar top to put into an actual bar top or an actual cabinet? It doesn't really make sense, right? But here's the thing. They've also talked about this supposed leak of games, the list of games. So this little fella is going to have 40 games. That's what everybody's saying. And there's a couple things I noticed with this list, and I have this pulled up right here, and I'll put an overlay of the games. But as you can see, you got a bunch of the King of Fighters games, Art of Fighting, Fatal Fury, Special and Real Bout, Mark of the Wolves, and then Samurai Showdown 2, 4, 5 Special, and then Last Blade 2, World of Heroes Perfect. It's a really good one. Kazuna Encounter, and then you get Metal Slug 1, 2, and 3, King of Monsters, Shock Troopers Second Squad, Sengoku 3. I don't see any other of the Sengoku. Sengoku 2 is really good, so I don't know why that's not on there. Ninja Masters, Top Players Golf, Super Sidekick, Blazing Star, Puzzled, and then repeated again, or not again, but part of the franchise of Metal Slugs, you get X, 4, and 5. And then Magician Lord, King of Monsters, 1, and then Blues Journey, Shock Troopers. Okay, you get the first Shock Troopers. Robo Army, Cross Swords, Mutation Nation, 3-Count Bout, Last Resort, Ghost Pilots, and Football Frenzy. Now, I don't know about this list right here, and there's a couple reasons I'm not 100% with this list. Is it possible? Is this the list of games we will have on this device? It's highly likely. I mean, they're all SNK games, or 80K, which SNK owned. So why do I have a weird feeling about this list? I don't know where this list came from exactly. Nobody has stated, it's just been leaked out there. But this list is reminiscent of a list that would be on like a Pandora's box or a Chinese multi-cart, that kind of thing. And you might be like, well, what do you mean by that? Well, what do I mean is that none of this is in order. None of it's in alphabetical order. Things are mixed up. You have franchises split up. Why would all the Metal Slugs not be listed together? You got Metal Slug 1, 2, and 3 listed as 16, 17, and 18. And then Metal Slug X, 4, and 5 listed as 27, 28, and 29. And then King of Monsters 2 is listed at 19, but King of Monsters 1 is listed at 31. So that kind of strikes me a little odd. And then the same thing with Shock Troopers. Shock Troopers' second squad is number 20, and then Shock Troopers 1 is number 33. If this was an official, legit list, why wouldn't they just list them in order? Or if they weren't in order, maybe listed by genre, but keeping the same franchises together. So that's why I'm kind of iffy with this. But there's one other particular reason that I'm really iffy with this. If you take a look at this, the image of the little mini bar top, whatever you want to call it, the mini cab, you'll notice something. There is essentially like a 4-slot MVS would have. There's the mini marquees. So the mini marquee on this shows Metal Slug and a couple other games I can't really tell from this blurry image that I'm personally looking at. Fatal Fury, it looks like, yeah. And then the third game on there is Samurai Showdown, or Samurai Spirits. Now, there's a couple questions I have here. Samurai Showdown, that cover art, that marquee that they're showing is for Samurai Showdown 1. Is Samurai Showdown 1 on that list of 40 games? No, it's not. And that is one that when I first read this list, I'm like, why wouldn't they put Samurai Showdown 1? Like, if they weren't gonna put all the Samurai Showdowns, I would think put 1, 2, and 5 special. Maybe throw in 4, but at least 1, 2, and 5. To me, those are the best of the franchise, 2 being my personal favorite. So obviously, I have some bias in my thoughts on what I think is the best. But Samurai Showdown 1's not on here. That was the beginning of this franchise. And it was an awesome game to boot. And it's not on this list. But it's on the mini marquee. So that's where I'm kind of questioning, is this a hoax? Is this just a big Photoshop? Because there's been nothing official stated as far as this leak that Spawnwave has talked about. He's not even saying it's 100% official. It's just information he's received, and it seems like it's legit. So that's what my question is looking at this. Does it look like it could be the device that they're dropping? Yeah, it does, but I have my thoughts and questions about that. This was not revealed in the US whatsoever. SNK in the US, or anybody associated with SNK, did not drop this bomb, or even the initial announcement with the little draping over the unit. That was a Japanese thing. So why would the US be getting information first? Because if this was a Japanese exclusive, which it may or may not be, we don't know if it's coming to the US or not, but why would the first information be a US release? And you might be like, well, what the hell are you talking about? What does it matter? It could be the Japanese release. No, the cover art on this, as far as the mini marquees, are not the Japanese mini marquees. They're the US released mini marquees, or the English territory mini marquees. Samurai Showdown was not called Samurai Showdown in Japan. It was called Samurai Spirits. But on the mini marquee, it says Samurai Showdown. So that's where my question is. What the hell? Is this legit or is it not? Is this just a big hoax? I'm gonna wait and see and hope. I mean, I'm hoping this is cool, you know, because having a little device, little tiny mini device, if it's around $100, that's cool. If they sell the extra controllers for it for like $20, I'm all for it. If it starts going a little higher than that, I'll have to second guess myself on it, because I already have a Neo Geo with access to, you know, every game on the Neo SD if I really wanted to play them. But to have something like this, a nice little collector's piece, and it's something I would actually use, and I think that's cool. But I'm remaining skeptical on this leak because of that stuff that doesn't make sense to me. Is it possible the US got a leak first on this? Sure. But why would that mini marquee have Samurai Showdown 1, yet the game list doesn't say Samurai Showdown 1? Why would, if this was just a Japanese leak, why would, I mean, that's what I'm curious about. The game list is in English, the marquee is in English, whereas the Japanese stuff I would imagine would be listed in Japanese and actually have the Japanese mini marquees, not the US versions. So that's why I'm losing my mind on this at the moment. It's quite possible this could be our leak and it's legit, but even then, if we got information on this first before Japan, which it was only announced in Japan, it was never announced here, it's possible, but then it just brings me back to, okay, if it's possible and this is legit, then why does the mini marquee show a game that's not on the list? Is the list wrong? Is the mini marquee just prototype thing? Are they going to add it? Is this going to be expandable? Who knows? But I'm losing my mind on that right now. Well, I'm not really losing my mind, but you guys know what I'm saying. I'm confused. Was this from a legit source? Is this just a real big hoax? Is this somebody with some neat little Photoshop skills pulling one over on some people? I don't know. And then, you know, the other thing too that I thought about was, after looking, and I'm going to show it again, these damn controllers, and on the unit itself, this is an official controller. Why are the buttons in this render that they show, why are they wrong? They're swapped around. Like, take a look at that, and then take a look at the images that have been leaked. Doesn't make sense to me. Why would the buttons be wrong if they're mimicking this controller? At first I wasn't sure, why would the buttons on the actual unit be flip-flopped around and weird? That didn't make sense, but I was like, maybe they're trying something different. I don't know, but it still didn't make sense to me. But when I seen the renders of this controller and the buttons being wrong, and how, honestly, the renders of these pictures look like somebody just made it, like, real quick. And the buttons are wrong. I don't understand that. The placement of A, B, C, D is like backwards. It's sideways. I don't know how to explain it. You could see in the picture, but it's not right. Typically Neo Geo and arcade stick, I don't have one right here at the second, but it would be A, B, C, D. And then on these controllers, it's A, B on the bottom, then C, D on the top. Why would they flip that around? That makes zero sense to me. So that's another thing that is making me a little skeptical on these leaks. I'm still excited though, because I know something is going to happen. Something is going to be released. Is it what we have seen today? Maybe. Maybe my skepticism is all for nothing, but I typically look at things in that way. And now that I'm paying a little more close attention to these leaks, I'm starting to think, why would SNK put this device out with buttons that are wrong? Why would the marquee have a game that's not in the game list? There's just so many things pointing around at each other that doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for me. I like the button layout on original Neo Geo because that's the way the games were intended to be played. This makes no sense. It's like SNK has nothing to do with it. So that's what kind of makes me wonder, is somebody else trying to pull one over on all of us? I don't know, guys. I mean, it could be all legit. It could be just a big ass hoax trying to fool all of us. You know, who knows? I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. You know, if, you know, I did say this device, you know, it was never talked about in the US. It was only talked about in Japan. Hey, even if it never does come to the US and it's only released in Japan, most Neo Geo games, most, not all, but most, especially a lot of the ones that are on this supposed list, you can play them in Japanese. It doesn't matter. There's very little text, or if there is text, it's not that big a deal. Most of these are fighting games, and a lot of stuff is in English anyway. Maybe a little conversations in between battles will be in Japanese. But hey, if it's only released in Japan, I'll still try to import one because I think it'll be pretty sweet. But I think there's just too many questions and too many things that are making me skeptical to this leak at the moment. What do you guys think? Drop a comment down below. Share your opinions, your thoughts, your views. Am I just overthinking, overlooking at this stuff? It just bothers me. These renders don't look good for the controllers. I'm just not sure, guys. Let me know what you think. Smash that like button, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. And with that said, guys, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out. Bye-bye.